All right, good morning. Hey, it's Friday, the Friday before the 4th of July weekend, and we've got some news that's hitting markets as we speak, just about, say 33 minutes before the opening bell. So if you were paying attention to the channel this week, we were talking about a number of different things that were going to come into play. The presidential debate was absolutely one of those. Earlier in the week, we mentioned it, and I'm sure most of you went in. There are a lot of people on the streets, the traders that we spoke to that were placing bets long or short on DJT, that is Donald James Trump Technologies. And you know what? This market, as of just a little bit ago, did a pre-show check as we got ready to go on the air, and it's up nearly 15% a share. I'm not a political person, but I'm going to say this. In the views of the stock market, and that's all I'm basing this on. The traders, they thought Trump did well, Biden not so much. You're going to see that in play. You did have at 8:30 a.m. today the personal income consumption, the PCE report, the price index hit, and we've got a couple of stocks that are going to be affected by that today. Want you all to be paying attention to a number of different aspects, but here what we got today. Higher in the pre-market, we have the aforementioned DJT, NVIDIA, Apple, GameStop, and MU. Going lower today, Nike. Hey, the earnings came out. It was not great. In fact, it was less than great. You did see real quick after hours, a momentary, just for about a half second or so, or I should say a half minute or so, a spike upwards before it came crashing on down. So Nike really down on some news there. Google, NXL, and XPEV all down noticeably. No, Nike down 15%. 15% on earnings, as I can't talk this morning. DJT, as I said, is up. It's fluxing, but right around 15%. It has dropped down momentarily to a 10% gain overnight, coming back up, though. Leading tech names were, of course, NVIDIA and Apple. NVIDIA, we've been talking to traders in both Chicago, Europe, and in the Middle East, and most of them are saying the same thing. If you go back and check on NVIDIA since the split, which is a little over 2 weeks now, it's had its rise up from 117 to about 141. It's come back all the way down to the 116s, but it keeps pushing up to the 130, 125 area. It seems to be a little bit of a wall there right around 125. So traders are paying attention to that as you're having people going both directions, long or short with that. Robert Yankee in the chat, good morning to you too, and great. A couple of other news and notes as we get you ready for your trading morning. We are going to start putting out the educational videos that many of you have been requesting. That will begin next week. So starting to educate you on candlesticks, Fibonacci retracements, different levels of support. What is support and resistance? We're going to do a lot of that stuff, especially with the 4th of July holiday. We're going to be able to fit some of these things in we've been talking about for a while. GameStop, I know most people, even if you're just getting into the world of trading person, you're understanding this stock in recent years has had some real huge run-ups and run-downs. You're seeing more and more of that come into play. Roaring Kitty, the person behind the GameStop fame, was at it again yesterday in correlation with Jim Cramer of CNBC. A picture of a dog barking sent both Woof, that is WOOF, and Chewy stocks skyrocketing and then coming sharply back down. Don't hold me to this, but I want to say Woof went from $1 and change all the way up to $4 per share in minutes before coming back. Chewy's went from about 20, I want to say $23, $24 a share, all the way up to 40 before coming back down to about its normal level. So talk about Roaring Kitty and the potential he has to move a stock along with Jim Cramer and other factors. You have just that. So some other things for you guys paying attention to. We've had lower volume throughout the NYSE this week. We've talked about a lot of that is because it's the time of year. Next week is 4th of July. A lot of traders at different brokerages are already on vacation statewide. You're seeing that also affect the Canadian markets and the exchanges. As while it's not a Canadian holiday, a lot of the people do celebrate it. In Britain and Middle East, even Asia, they are aware of the slowdown this time of year typically brings this week and next week. So what do you have? You have some historically low volume this time of year. You get a week or so past the 4th of July. If you're new to trading, pay attention to your volume indexes there because you'll start seeing them crisply go back up, especially once we get past the summer holidays. All right, see if there's anything else hitting the headline here. Fed's Daily, in case you do not know who that is, one of the Fed Chair Council. I hear from business CEOs, they are already feeling uncertainty in the markets. So you've also heard us talk about here on Winners and Losers that you're seeing more and more companies in industries pulling back. You're seeing McDonald's offering more and more competitive $5 meals, etc. They are understanding that the average consumer, not just stateside, but worldwide, is starting to feel some pinches. Myself, I've been a trader in one format or another. Keep in mind, I am not a stock analyst. I'm not a financial advisor. Everybody here on the show, when we come on in, we're just here to give some thoughts about what we hear from traders on the floors. We are not the traders themselves. We are not giving any thoughts or wisdom to you. So make all this information of what you will. Anytime you look to buy a property or stocks or any kind of financial product, we recommend you talk to somebody who is able to service you properly in that realm. But at any rate, you're seeing more and more industries talk about feeling the financial pinch and such. My big thing over the years is, hey, whenever there's a pullback in markets, there's three things I pay attention to. Liquor or beer type industries, smoke industries, and that can be obviously tobacco or otherwise, and then forms of cheap entertainment, so video games or whatever. Those three typically do well in pullbacks in the markets. But what we're hearing from live on the street from a number of different people and sources within those industries is some of those industries are starting to feel it more than the net average. Most of us here on the floor have been around to see the 2001.com crash, also the 2008/9, the Great Recession, among other parts in our nation's history and the stock industry world. So this one seems a little bit different in that it's affecting those industries as well. So be mindful of that when going out. Nike, yes, really getting hit hard here this morning. They're down a ton. All right, guys, not going to sure if we're going to have a whole lot more information for you today, as it is Friday, the Friday right before the holiday week. So it is going to be a slower one. A couple of the news and notes for you. Let's see, 9:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Of course, you have Chicago PMI. There's an expectation of 40 overall. 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, University of Michigan sentiment. The expectation is going to be 65.6, so pay attention to those numbers. At noon today, Fed's Bowman will be a speaker at a lunch, so pay attention to see if anything unexpected comes out of his mouth and at his speech that could affect markets. And then at 12:40 p.m., Fed's Daily speaks again. So some key stuff for you. So, all right, take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. If you haven't yet subscribed to Winners and Losers, please consider doing so. Educational videos coming out starting next week. We'll roll them on out. Hopefully you guys learn a few things. Again, as always, we are not financial advisors nor predictors. We're just here to report the news. Make of the news as you will, and enjoy your day. Take care. We'll see you on the next Winners and Losers.